let's welcome Miss Abigail Watson.
It's just Abby.
Abby, I'm sorry. Thank you. Abby, how old are you?
15.
15. And are you living in the present or the past?
I was living in 2000.
2000, so just a little bit in the past. Okay, where do you live?
I live in Maine.
In Maine, okay. And who are the people around you?
Well, there's sometimes visitors like my friend Rachel Carruthers.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly seals and my cat.
Wow.
For who?
Her mother couldn't give it.
Her mother. That's the obvious one. Somebody, where else could this come from? Zora.
Said it could have washed up on the beach.
That's exactly what I was thinking too. Yeah, there's a lot. This is where she's living. There's a lot of things that can wash up on the beach. So it could have been washed up on the beach, but then we'd have to figure out a very interesting story about where it came from. Sophia, how?
She could have sailed to Hawaii and got it there.
She could have gotten it in another place, not in Maine. This could represent a different place, but I would say, since she's in such a rich environment where she is right now on her houseboat in Maine, that this should probably have something to do with that area. But still, there's lots of different ways. Brookie, what?
Before her dad died, maybe he didn't know he was going to die, so he gave that to her.
Well, her father could have given it to her. And Celia, what else? Where else could this have come from?
It could have came from, she found it in like a box or something.
She could have found it in a box in her house. A lot of stories come out of little boxes that people find in their attics. And I'm going to play you more of the other stories, and you're going to see that.
I don't have a school close to me, so it takes a while to get there, so I don't go there a lot.
Okay. This is what I would say about this so far. We have a lot of very cool things to work on here. I'm going to be talking a lot about the logic of things and the reality of things, because like I said, these speeches, even though they're made up, are about real people in real situations. And that's what makes them seem so real. So in the year 2000, at the age of 15, you would be required to go to school. It would be a state law, okay? So we're going to have to change your story around a little bit. There are probably people who live on houseboats around yours that could take care of you. I want you to try to find a relative, an aunt, an uncle, or someone who's living on the houseboat with you, okay? And that you probably should be going to school. Other than that, though, that it's a good, solid story. Buddy, we have Miss Sarah Stalker visiting us. Welcome her, please. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to class in 3MCC. So, Sarah, how old are you?
12.
You're 12, and where do you live?
In Maine.
Another person in Maine. That's a coincidence. And are you living in the past or present?
The past.
When in the past?
1870.
1870. In Maine in 1870.
So living out in the woods in 1870 Maine. This is what I would say. What kind of house you got?
A log.
A log cabin. So your father, your parents probably grow food in the summer and put it up, okay? Your father probably hunts and fishes to make a living. Your mom has to do a lot of sewing and things like that. So it's a family, a very typical kind of rustic family that has to make their own.
And these are the objects about which the girls will write their story.